All right, we're live. Yay. Okay. As you can tell, we're thrilled today. Welcome to the Bitching Dead. We are your hosts, Becca, Fareed, and Tara. That makes it look like I'm all three of us. We're a webcast from the minds of the geeky area, and we're hitched to bitch about. We're here to bitch about stuff and things because somebody has to do it. If you've not seen episodes 21 and 22 of The Walking Dead, season 10, I believe, was it 20? I thought it was 2021. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If
No,
you've
it's
seen
20. It's 21 and 22.
Okay. I haven't seen episodes 21, 22, The Walking Dead season 10, and episode 8 of Walking Dead season 6. Please turn back now. We are not responsible for any spoilers you hear. We did warn you. Also, we will give you another spoiler warning for whenever we begin covering Fear the Walking Dead season 6, episode 8, because we're super considerate like that. Ha!
Yeah. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please remember this is recorded live. So we aren't exactly sure what's going to happen. Please forgive us for any technical difficulties or accidental or intentional swears. You can join the conversation with the hashtag #TheBitchingDead.
We'd like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts as individuals and do not necessarily represent the geeky area or the webcast itself as a whole.
Okay, news first. So finally, it happened. With episode number 21, The Walking Dead season 10 fell from the 2 million live viewer milestone. Which, yay!
The thing we've all been waiting for.
I have been waiting for it. And also, episode number 21 was considered by critics as one of the worst The Walking Dead episodes.
Which one was?
Episode 21.
Which
Carol
is Diverged with Carol versus Rat and Dog versus and Daryl versus Motorbike.
Yeah, it was considered the worst episode, one of the worst episodes. And apparently, according to Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, the news about The Walking Dead ending with season 11 came as a surprise. Even the creative team, like Scott Gimple and Angela Kang, didn't know about it. And the powers that be just wanted it to end. So the creative teams had to change a lot of things and give us a rush production when it came to providing an ending to us for season 12. So yeah, it was just bad. And I'm like, wow. So the powers that be didn't even tell the creative team that this will be their last season.
So it wasn't supposed to end with season 11. It was supposed to end with
12. Yeah, season 12 was the last season. So they didn't tell. So it's kind of weird. No one knew. And it was a surprise.
Well, that's fun. I love surprises.
Yeah, AMC was like, end this show. Because I read somewhere like 2 or 3 years ago, I guess, like I guess it was Gimple or someone else who said that they could continue this show for at least 15 seasons.
Ugh.
Yeah, AMC was like, no, ended with season 12. End it.
I mean, I gotta imagine like they've seen the viewership numbers dropping and they're just looking at things like, okay, why are we paying all this money for this show again?
They don't even release merch anymore.
Except for that Carol plate. I want that.
Okay, so we have a friend who has a platter, who had a platter, and it's themed after Carol from The Walking Dead, and instead of tray handles, it has 2 brass knuckles, porcelain brass knuckles that you hold.
It's got like a little. It's like it's like the blue and white. There's a name for that pattern that I'm not. It starts with a C, I think, that I'm not remembering right now. But it's like that blue and white pattern, that's on a lot of old porcelain, and it's got like little knives around the edges and stuff. It's cool looking. Like this really is the first time I think I've wanted a piece of Walking Dead merch in about 7 years. So
I'm trying to think how much Walking Dead merch I have. I have 3 Daryl Dixon pop figures. I have Daryl Dixon's vest. I have another Daryl Dixon, like some kind of, it's called Fabrications, and it's like a plush. I've got Daryl Dixon plush. Obviously, you can see who my favorite is. And I have a few t-shirts.
I
No.
don't
Yeah.
think I have anything. I have a Rick Tatership T-shirt, and I honestly think that's the only sort of official piece of merchandise I ever owned.
Yeah,
I
remember.
wanted things back in the day, but they were always like super pricey.
Yeah. Oh, and I have a Daryl Dixon mug that's brass knuckles.
Okay. I mean, but then again, yeah, as you guys said, they probably looked at the ratings. They probably looked at their merchandise sales, and they were like, you know what? End this show now. I mean, it's not even as if this series has continued to be a critical darling. Like, even the critics don't like it. It's not winning any awards. So,
Mhm.
end
Did
it.
it ever? Did it ever win
I mean,
awards?
it
I
didn't
can
win
look.
any awards, yeah, that I can remember. Do look, because I do think, but at least the earlier seasons, critics loved The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
now every
Now, like the people, I don't even think major like outlets even cover it anymore. Nobody cares.
It looks like MTV People's Choice. It
if you want to call it a award.
won an Emmy for outstanding prosthetic makeup for a series, limited series, movies or special.
Mhm.
Saturn Award. Too bad it doesn't have any Raspberry Awards. Razzies, whatever they're called.
Raspberry.
Oh, MTV Movie Award for Best Villain.
Which villain?
Negan.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so no, like. Also, I'm echoing super bad.
Yeah, I hear it too.
I mean, it's okay for me. Or did it go?
Maybe you're the echoer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like it's only Becca and I are echoing, but you're not. So it's something coming through your headphones or whatever.
I'm the echoer, my walker name. You know what? I'll take off the headphones if that works. Let me try this.
Yeah, I mean, so it won some pointless awards back in the day. It never won like, it's not like it was winning like Emmys or anything.
Yeah.
No, it won me. You
It won an Emmy?
Yeah, we can hear you. No, I said it's not like it won Emmys.
It did. It won one
Oh,
Emmy.
it did for prosthetics?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's whatever.
I mean, an Emmy is an Emmy. Come on.
That's true. I mean, but let's be real, that's the thing. Like, I've never complained about, well, I mean, I think there's been some episodes where there were some crappy, like the makeup maybe wasn't the best or something like that on the walkers, but like generally that has been spot on for the entire show. And for it to have been running this long and to have had just really good, monster makeup essentially for that long, that's, that does say something. But unfortunately, like having good makeup, like doesn't, an interesting series make. Yeah, so any other news, or we want to jump into last weekend's episode of Walking Dead? I literally was like, I'm not going to drink on this webcast tonight, but then I had to watch these episodes, and I was like, yep.
And they even did the diverse thing with them going their own separate ways.
This is not, this whole episode did not bode well for a Carol and Daryl spinoff, let's be real. Like, it was boring as fuck.
Oh, wait, that's the spinoff? That's how the spinoff goes?
I think that was what they were talking about. I don't know if unless they decided not to do it, but
I forgot about the spinoff.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's canceled.
Well, we haven't heard about it, so
yeah, we haven't heard one way or the other, but
it's surprising. We haven't heard about any spin-offs, and we haven't heard about any of the 3 awesome Rick movies.
Well, I did. Was it on this webcast? Or I think it was on this webcast. We were talking about the Rick movies, and somebody looked it up. This is a couple weeks ago, or I don't know, a month ago or something, where Andrew Lincoln's basically stuck in the UK right now because, like, to come over here, if he were to come over here, he has to quarantine for like 2 weeks. and stuff. So it's just like he's not like totally stuck. Like he could come over here because it's for work, but like why would he want to? Like why would he want to leave his family and go and come over here where things are just so bad COVID wise, when he's kind of like safe in his little, bubble over there in the UK. So
I mean, if they were paying him enough, who knows what's happening?
Yeah, well, they're like, cancel the show, bye forever. So something tells me they're gonna pay him what they agreed to pay him and not a penny more. That's for sure. Okay, so did we have favorite moments from this episode?
I mean, I just like the fact that Dog went with Carol. That made me chuckle.
Why did Dog go with Carol? Like, did he choose that? I might have missed if the dog made that choice or if Carol
made that choice.
Oh, weird.
Carol just kept walking and then Dog went after her.
Yeah. Yeah, and Daryl was actually surprised that it went with Carol. Maybe it's because the dog knew that Carol can feed him or something.
Maybe.
Daryl's one of those people that would go hungry rather than not feed his dog.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, at the same time,
feed him good food, keep him safe. Like Dog probably wanted to go back to Alexandria or Hilltop.
True. Or no, not Hilltop. Alexandria. Hilltop is gone.
Yeah, Alexandria. Like the dog was like, you know what, Daryl? It's rough out here. I'm going back. I'm a domesticated dog now. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly,
strong, independent.
Strong, independent Doge. Like, I mean, obviously, we were supposed to be like, oh, well, Daryl should like forgive Carol. Dog went with her. Like, it was definitely supposed to be some sort of dumb symbolic thing. But we all know how well The Walking Dead does with that. So yeah, I'm over it. I just like favorite moments. Like Jerry. I like that Jerry was there. He was chill. He was doing his work, doing his thing, trying to help Carol at the end. He was being Jerry. That's about it. And I thought that this was supposed to be like a Jerry episode.
Yeah, that's what I heard when I was reading the promo material, that Jerry is going to be in this episode. And I really thought that they were going to focus on him and his family, because that's a dynamic we should be seeing. Like, how is his family coping with with Hilltop destroyed and them having less food to feed people? But we got nothing of that. Like,
yeah.
And him being worried about Ezekiel, he's clearly worried about him.
Yeah.
And show us. But no, more Carol and Daryl. Like, okay.
Like, what is the whole thing? Like, what did I miss? Like a fight or something they had? Because like everything just seems so inconsequential. But then Carol says something about an apology is just a truce or something. Like, did they have a real bad fight, or did I totally miss it?
They had a fight in the cabin episode where Daryl was telling Carol about his woman that he loved and she ran away. And at the end of that episode, those two had a fight. Daryl blamed Carol for something.
Oh, because she had that vendetta against Alpha and she had to let Negan out and they had to... Yeah, it was just such a weird and lame fight.
Yeah.
There
was just
fight?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I was still focused on the fact that Daryl had this really shitty, stupid romance plot.
I just have nothing, like I don't know. I wanted to try. No, I didn't. I
don't know. Favorite moments. So for me, I think it was Carol slowly losing her shit over the course of the episode. Like, she's smiling, but she's kind of like, like, I'm I'm 2 seconds away from blowing up everybody. And then, of course, she finally just, like, takes her knife and goes to town on her wall. And I wasn't sure if it was her wall or if it was Daryl's wall. They were, I don't know. It was a weird, anyway, so she went to town on the wall for whatever reason.
Well, because she heard the rat behind there.
Okay. I was honestly expecting there to be a body there. I don't know why. I'm watching too much
I
Criminal
was kind of
Minds.
expecting that she would like tear apart the wall and there would be like food hidden back there or something. Like,
Yeah.
no, it was just like, I mean, have we
It's
gone?
kind of-
Sorry, did we move on to least favorite moments already?
No, we're still talking about Carol losing her shit.
Okay. I mean, I kind of felt like she lost her shit already, like right at the beginning when Jerry was like, "Yeah, I got nothing for you to do," and then it was like immediately like her facade like dropped, and it was like, "Oh God, now what?"
Because she has to be alone with her own thoughts and alone with the fact that she and Daryl had a fight.
Well, I mean, as somebody who does that whole keeping busy to not be alone with my own thoughts, I completely understand that, but
No.
But at the same time, yeah. I mean, I'll get into why I don't like how they handled this in a bit.
All right, let's go to least favorite moments.
The existence of this episode, that is all I have to say.
This was the episode I was hoping for. An entire hour of Carol versus Rat. Like, they need that rat in that pet-centric episode they plan on doing with Dog and the Hound and Skidmark and the rat. They need it. They need the rat in there.
New Twitter poll. Now who's the best Walking Dead pet?
All right. I mean, I can do it. I can do it right now.
Yeah. Who would actually win in a fight, Carol or the rat?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, all that would have to happen is that rat getting in her wig.
A rat-sized Carol or a Carol-sized rat? No, okay, I'm not gonna do that one.
Now I'm imagining that when Carol, late at night, when Carol came back into the kitchen, she just saw her wig move, and it was the rat taking her wig away.
Wait, what if the rat-sized Carol was cooking little rat-sized Carol soups?
I honestly thought that she was gonna catch the rat and eat it.
That, honestly, like I really thought that the rat was gonna get into that hot pot. She wasn't really trying that hard to cover the damn thing. Like, I'm pretty sure almost every time she covered it, the cover was like slightly loose, and I was just waiting for something to happen in this episode. And like that would have been a big moment if she actually lost the stupid soup because the rat got into it. That would have been like a turning point in the Carol v. Rat story.
Okay, so
she had that entire story telling Jerry about how that person made the stone soup.
Oh my God, I forgot about the stone soup.
And I was like, Carol is going to put rat meat in that soup, and then she's going to make Jerry drink it, and then Jerry will be like, yummy, and then Carol would just smirk. I know.
No, he literally was like, go make me a sandwich. Like, not literally, but like, that's
also, how does Jerry not know the stone soup story? Dude was raised in the United States. Like, he's got to be like my age, maybe a little bit younger. Like, Becca, you know that story, right?
Yes.
Like,
I think so. I don't know it is stone soup. I know it is something else, but I know the basic.
Yeah. So I was just kind of like, when she was telling you, I was like, how old are we supposed to believe Jerry is? Like, I thought he was in his 30s. Like,
okay,
even if we're in present timeline, post-apocalypse, he was still like a teenager when this shit happened. He would have learned that story in like elementary school. Did you know the stone soup story, Fareed?
No.
Well, that's fine. It's a dumb, probably like Americanized parable that we get told to. There's some sort of reasoning or moral behind it, I'm sure. Puritanical bullshit.
So I have this. Huh?
Maybe Tara was like, the story had a moral, and I was like, lie to people, like fake it until you make it or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who would win in a fight? Carol Rambo of The Walking Dead or one rat boy. I'm gonna post that. That's gonna be our tweet.
I got it. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Cool. Let's get ready to rumble.
So other favorite things.
Least favorite.
Yeah, Becca has one.
Least favorite. So I was kind of hoping for like Daryl to be like, I'm sorry, I'm an absolute asshole, because he's acting like an asshole. And for Carol to be like, that's okay, we're best friends. And then it didn't happen. Instead, he was like, I'm gonna go camp out in the backyard. And I was just like, okay. But that's literally all I have. I did not enjoy or care about this episode.
I literally, like, I watched part of it Saturday morning. And I just, like, I kept losing focus on it. Like, I think I watched a little more than half of it, and I kept just losing my focus. Like, it was so boring. I could not pay attention to it. And I would, like, rewind it a few minutes, and then I just forget what happened and, like, just not care after I'd rewound it. The scene with Daryl in the car, I like went back trying to watch it like 3 times. And after the 3rd time, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to, I can't pay attention to this. And, yeah, and then I watched the rest of it, I think Saturday night, and Dean was I was sitting on the couch with Dean, and he kept kind of glancing over, and it was just like, he was like, what is going on? Like, what is this show now? Because he hasn't watched it in like 5 years or something. So, yeah. But that, like, the other, like, gripes and what the fuck moments, this was kind of what I was alluding to earlier, like, and I mentioned it to you guys in the chat. And I know, Becca, you haven't watched Breaking Bad. Fareed, I don't know if you have, but, like, I feel like Dean actually was the one who turned me on to the idea that they were possibly trying to do like the Breaking Bad Fly episode. So in Breaking Bad, if people haven't watched it, Walter is like obsessed with making the perfect meth, and he gets this underground like lab, and everything in it is like amazing, and a fly gets in, I think, to the ventilation system or something, and he spends an entire episode going like increasingly like more off his rocker, trying to get this fly because he's so worried it's going to get in one of his batches and like ruin it. And the episode, like, it turned, even though the show itself is depressing as fuck, and like I don't love Breaking Bad because it's so depressing, like that episode is actually kind of, it's hilarious. It's hilarious watching him like do this, especially since Walter's like a terrible fucking person. So you're like kind of watching him like just get so angry about this fly that's just doing better than him at every corner. But yeah, so like I felt like that's like, I was wondering if that's not what they were trying to do. That's certainly where they got the idea from, I think, for the rat.
They needed to play yakety sax in the background while she was chasing after that rat.
Yeah, I just like that's all.
What's next? Okay, any other gripes and WTF moments? We already talked about that. Fareed, you had something.
I mean, she ended up going to get nettles and dandelions and greens, and I was like, how far did she go? Because she ended up killing an entire herd, basically.
Yeah, yeah, I was kind of like, okay, you need to get some tension out. I got you. And then she just was like, yeah, and then there's blood all over her clothes and her hands, and then she's just like, I'll just wipe it on the grass and then pick up the bucket. It'll be fine. I'm sure nobody will get sick from this.
How far did she walk away, though? Because they are still fixing Alexandria. Shouldn't there be security around? Like, I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to kill you. I was like, okay, Carol.
She's, I don't know. I'm getting whiplash from how her character has gone so back and forth. I really am.
Like, I just want to look at the writer's room for the upcoming season. I want to see their thought process. I want to see how they come up with these scenarios and these narratives. Like, what are these writers? They're getting paid for this stuff.
We should have realized that something was wrong whenever Buttons, with the whole thing with Buttons. Yeah, the horse buttons. Yeah, that was a disaster.
Yeah,
Remember?
that was so long ago.
I know. That's whenever everything started going to shit with buttons.
The horse. Who was it? Who?
Jesus was trying to catch it.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like the writers, I highly doubt that season 12 is going to be any better. It's not. But let's see. Becca, your turn.
My turn. I have to remind me. So I already kind of mentioned this. I was hoping for rat soup. Also, like, whenever it turned over, it wasn't like wet stuff. It was dry. So, like, she's not heard of the 5-second rule. She can literally pick it up and then blow on it. And problem solved.
I thought she did just pick it up and kind of rinse it off or whatever. Like, that's what I assumed, because she continued making the soup later, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, as far as I remember, the first soup that she was making, that fell to the ground. And
right,
that's
but it
what
wasn't like
the greens.
So I don't know if she just, because I wasn't sure if she was making like a dandelion, because then I was like, is she making a nettle tea? Because then I was reminded of Katniss Everdeen and how they make pine needle tea in the Hunger Games, and then my mind just went off on a whole ass thing. I mean, I guess she picked out like the mushrooms and the fish and stuff and put it back in the pot.
Maybe. Talking about the Hunger Games, I thought for a second that Carol was going to kill the horde by using a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like that. But yeah, episode 22. Here's me.
Jinx.
Okay, so episode 22 is called Here's Negan. Read. Go ahead.
I mean, my favorite moment, I was like, good to see Barbara again. I looked it up, and this character has been around since season 5.
Really?
Wait, who's Barbara?
The redheaded girl that was working alongside Negan during the beginning.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's who I thought. That's who I thought you meant, and I was like, wait a minute, no, did I miss something though? She's been around that long?
Yeah.
Damn.
Good for her.
And we know nothing about her.
Oh, well, just wait. Don't worry. They've introduced her by name now, and we've seen her, so she's definitely dying soon. Like, right?
But yeah.
Is she a lesbian? Is she non-binary? Are they non-binary? Like, just give them some sort of defining characteristic that isn't straight white person, and they'll also die. Like,
up on Wiki, and she has 3 kids.
Okay.
Barbara has 3 children?
Yeah.
Maybe they're adopted.
Wow. I'm proud of you, Barbara, for your 3 children.
Are you, though? Who's having children in this apocalypse? At least on purpose.
Children in this apocalypse?
Jerry's wife.
I'm looking at what's her name? Nabila?
Yeah, Nabila is having kids.
I'm looking at Barbara now because I'm super curious. She doesn't even look old enough to have.
That was the point. I had no idea that she was old enough to have kids.
Oh, her kids are both dead.
Still, she had them.
She has a son and a daughter. Deanna's party. She blah blah blah. Y'all, she's in a lot of stuff. Holy cow! And we never knew her.
Oh, Barb, we never knew.
Wow, she's in a.
Also, her name is Barb, and she's stayed alive this long. Shocking. Stupid Stranger Things reference. Yeah. Like, sorry, what were you saying, Fareed?
Both of them are redheads. Barb from Stranger Things and this Barb.
Oh my gosh! What if Barb from Stranger Things was like her cousin or something? No, wrong. I'm thinking Atlanta area, but no, that's not correct. Also, wait, never
Yeah.
mind. Stranger Things is just filmed in Atlanta. It doesn't take place
I'm
there.
happy for that.
I'm so tired. I'm just trying to find fun ways to make this show amusing to myself. It's not working. I'm
Yeah.
failing miserably. I can't even dig these things out of the gutter here. I mean, yeah. I would have given a shit about this episode if it happened several seasons ago. That's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, yeah. This episode could have worked if it happened seasons ago. But yeah. Also, they got Jeffrey Dean Morgan's real wife to play Lucille in this episode. That's interesting. And I also liked how they connected Laura to Negan. Like they brought back Chris, and she was the one who gave him the baseball bat.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, interesting. You're dead now, but still interesting. Yeah, that's it.
Kara, you already said kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I like, I'm like digging, and it's like, I didn't hate the idea of this episode. I just hate that it happened now. Like, also, like, no, this isn't. Everything I have to say isn't favorite moments. It's just general bitching. So,
let's see here. I like this episode. I really didn't mind it. You know, it was weird to see Negan like wearing like normal clothes, like normal, like regular person clothes instead of like a black jacket or whatever. I liked meeting Lucille. I liked the backstory. I agree with Tara. It definitely would have been better to have it, several seasons back. I mean, he finally burns Lucille. Which is kind of unfortunate because I was hoping that Maggie would use it to beat the shit out of him, but whatever. Maybe she'll make Lucille point 2.
Maybe. Maggie might end up killing him with a baseball bat, calling that bat Glenn. Who knows?
Yo, that would be some real poetic justice right there. I mean, I don't know. Like we know that Negan's gonna die. He's gonna have to die. And like I'm really surprised that Maggie hasn't just pulled out a gun and just been like, bam. But
does he have to die?
He doesn't really have to. I mean, he really doesn't have to die. But like, they're not going to be like, unless there's like some kind of weird life debt owed. Like he saves Herschel, or like he and Maggie have to work. Huh?
The Wookiee life debt.
The Wookiee life debt. Yeah, there's something that happens there. He doesn't really have to die, but I just. I don't know. I mean, he didn't have to die, but I would like for him to.
Yeah. Also, was it me or did they try and de-age Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
They might have like
sprayed some black.
Yeah, I don't think they might have given him a little bit more makeup or like something just to help a little bit, but I don't think they tried that hard. And that also kind of threw it off. It was like, oh, come on. Because like, dude is a good looking guy, but like he's aged a lot just since the beginning, just since him being on Walking Dead for the first time.
And being on the show that's slowly draining the life out of you will do that.
All right.
Okay. So we see the origin story of Lucille. Oh, now I know what my least favorite moment was. Okay, so speaking of least favorite moments, Freed.
Do you have any, Freed?
I didn't care for this episode. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I just don't. I didn't care enough about it either way. Like I didn't like it enough or dislike it enough to have even least favorite moments. Like I don't know. It wasn't as boring as the week before, and I think that's probably the only reason I'm like, it's fine, I guess. I guess my least favorite. This isn't a moment, but my least favorite thing about it overall just harkens back to this would have fit well several seasons ago. And this is just a really fucking awkward way to end the season. Like, here's an episode all about Negan, and then you will give him, you'll see him glaring at Maggie at the end, and that's it. The end.
Yeah, I don't even know if he was glaring at her. Like, I don't.
Or well, he was
smirking.
Smirking. Yeah, sorry. That she was glaring at him, but yeah, dumb.
It's weird. So least favorite moments for me. I was expecting her to be dead, but I was not expecting her to unalive herself. That was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that was. I guess like, I guess we're supposed to, we're supposed to think that it was like I guess she knew she wasn't really gonna survive, even if he was gone. Chemo meds.
He was gone a while. Yeah, it was just really. Yeah. So it was tough to see that. It was tough to see. Also, I found it interesting. This isn't really a least favorite moment, and it's not a gripe or WTF moment either. But whenever he pulls off the bag over her head and he sees her, she looks shockingly like Alpha in that moment. With the bald head. And I was like, I don't know, I had a moment of kind of like, ugh, and like, I didn't really think about that before, but then I saw her bald head and I was like, wait a second. But yeah, it just makes sense that she just looked reminded him a little too much of Lucille, but unfortunately we can't really circle that back because Alpha's dead and has been dead for a while. So, or not even dead for a while, a few days, I think.
Wait, Alpha's only been dead for a few days?
Yeah.
God, why does it feel like a half a lifetime?
Because
that's what the show does to you. Okay,
so any other gripes and WTF moments?
Where's Alpha's daughter?
Shit, I don't know.
Wasn't she hanging around Carol?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I honestly don't know.
If they had to film these with like smaller casts because of COVID, that might be why she's not around. Like that that might be the legit reason. She's off clearing the fisheries, Fareed. making dead fish mulch or whatever they're doing with those bodies.
Ugh, dead fish mulch. Ugh.
I find it hard to believe that dead fish is actually a good fertilizer, but like, okay then.
I mean, if poop is, then dead fish can be.
Yeah.
Well, poop is, but only certain kinds of poop. Like only like cow poop is, but dog poop isn't,
We don't know what kind of fish these were.
Yeah, were they vegetarian fish?
Were
they pescatarian fish?
They only eat each other. Cannibalizing.
Oh God.
So the rabbit that Carol caught at the very beginning was clearly a domesticated bunny and not a wild rabbit. Like, I'm sorry, but that had like a chinchilla. It was like a chinchilla rabbit or some bullshit. Not a chinchilla like hybrid rabbit, but like the fur, it was like white and fluffy and it had like grays. And I was like, that's obviously not. It must have been someone like the prop guy was like, oh shit, I totally forgot that we need a wild rabbit for this. And then somebody's like, say no more. I have my daughter's stuffed animal in the car. And they were like, ta-da. And that's what they used because like it straight up looked like an Easter bunny, like a bunny that you would get at the seed and feed. Seed and feed? What are they called?
Yeah, the bunnies that people get their children for Easter and then abandon and then let loose in the neighborhood, like what happened to me one time. And I spent like a week trying to catch this bunny before it disappeared, and I felt really bad because it was like very clearly someone's stinking Easter bunny that they didn't feel like dealing with anymore. Ugh. That's the bunny that Carol caught, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, it was weird. It was kind of like, I guess like maybe they were raising like meat rabbits or whatever.
Oh, that's true.
Because like meat rabbits do still look like domesticated bunnies. I don't
Well,
know
no,
why.
I mean, but this was obviously like a giant lop or something.
Did it have lap ears? I missed that.
I don't know. It was like a bundle of like fur. I was gonna say you'll have to go back and look at it, but I was like, I know you won't.
It was literally the Easter bunny that Carol caught.
Yeah. Yeah. It was Easter Sunday after all. Happy Easter.
It must have been an
bunny.
Easter egg.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so any theories that we have for season 11?
I mean, Maggie and Negan showdown at some point. Whether or not he'll actually die is, I think, kind of up in the air. Like he doesn't actually need to die. And to be honest, I feel like it would be kind of like at this point, it would be kind of, come on, like, don't you have better things to do for Maggie to kill him? But
I mean, I didn't like Negan's attitude, the way he came back into Alexandria, the smirk on his face. Like he knew what he was doing. He knew that he was getting under Maggie's skin.
I don't. I can't decide if he was smirking because like he knows that he's gonna die, or if he's smirking because he's a shitlord. I don't fucking know. Negan is a shitlord, though, for sure.
oh, I mean, you know, that's kind of, this isn't a theory. It's more kind of just going back to what we saw in the episode. It was like, yeah, dude was always a douche. Like,
Yeah.
so he was a jerk who like got in bar fights, got fired from his job as a high school gym teacher, was like yelling at teenagers on Xbox or whatever, like wearing a hoodie like he's kind of 15, like cheating on his wife with whoever the fuck Janine is.
Best friend.
Her best friend, his best friend?
Her wife's best friend.
Oh, wow. I somehow missed that entirely. You know, and then it's like, oh, well, she has cancer. So all of a sudden he's like faithful. Fuck off.
I think they may have actually addressed because Negan mentioned something about how he did something bad, or he didn't treat his wife like she should have been treated, and so he spent the rest of the time that he had with her making up for it, or something like that.
I'm sure that they have kind of like, you know, hinted at it before, but like, you know, just kind of being a guy who made a mistake is one thing. Being a guy who is clearly just an all-around douche, like everything that we know about him is that he was a giant douche until he found out his wife had cancer.
It also explains that why he loves kids so much, or why he's like slightly nicer to kids. I don't know.
Yeah, because his job was to be around kids.
Yeah.
And he saw the potential in Carl. He wanted to make Carl another version of him.
Yeah, that's not exactly healthy though.
That's why I'm like, just wait for him to start befriending Herschel.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna try and be Herschel's friend.
That's not gonna go.
And also, is Herschel not making friends with Judith and the rest?
I don't know. We haven't really seen him hang out.
We haven't really seen any of them.
Yeah.
So let's assume that yes. I guess. But yeah, so like I like we learned Negan's backstory, and it's like they made him even worse than they needed to, I guess. Like am I just supposed to feel bad for him because like or feel like he's I don't know, like I know people can change and everything, but like he had this like one shining moment where he took care of his wife all that time, but then like the second she was gone. And no, now granted, the dude that he like, the first dude that he went after, obviously not a good dude, like obviously a bad guy, but like, you're not fooling me, Negan. Show. It's not even Negan's fault. It's the show's fault. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Oh, I also think that we're gonna have Ezekiel's death in the next season.
Well,
finally.
Yeah. Look, I was gonna say I like Negan. I like Ezekiel. He's one of my favorite characters.
I love Ezekiel, but like,
it's time.
He's got a giant tumor on his neck. Like, first of all, there's absolutely no way he's living through like, even if he does live, it's like, we know he's gonna be like dead, like, I guess it depends on how many days season fucking 11 lasts. In our lives, it's like 8 years, but in theirs, it's like, live in 48 hours. Actually, let's dial that back. It's been 36.
All right, let's go to so now we are going on to Fear the Walking Dead season 6 episode 8, The Door. This is officially supposed to come out next
next Sunday,
this
coming
Saturday.
Sunday. Oh yeah.
April.
Well, on the app, I think it comes out like midnight Saturday or something like that. But it's
okay.
So it still airs Sunday night, but it came out for AMC.
If you have AMC Plus, which I don't have, which I thought I had, you can watch it at midnight. On the 10th, the 11th, or whatever. I don't give a shit.
Wait. What I want to know is who the F is paying $5 a month for AMC Plus?
Dude, I'm in a Discord right now with a bunch of the official Walking Dead universe Discord, and they have I don't know, something like 1,000. Let me see how many people are in there. Anyway, these people do pay for the premium subscription.
Like, if AMC had a bunch of really good shows airing right now, I guess I could understand people who don't have cable paying $5 for it, but they don't.
Okay,
and like the Breaking Bad, not to bring that up again, but Breaking Bad's fandom was fucking rabid. Like, if Breaking Bad was on, I guarantee you people would pay at $5 a month to get those episodes a day early.
Okay, so there's 147 people online, and then there's 629 people offline. So less than 1,000.
A little bit less, yeah. But I mean, that's I mean, for a Discord channel for a dying fandom, that's a lot.
Yeah, they apparently had
this fandom is The Walking Dead.
Basically. So now we're coming up on this, but all three of us have seen it in advance, so we're gonna go ahead and cover it now. Because we have all seen it and we need to scream about it, and you're all going to suffer with us. So if you haven't seen this, go ahead and turn off the webcast now. It's ending for you. Goodbye forever. But if you don't care about being spoiled or you've already seen it, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So episode 8, The Door, so called The Door because I almost called him, oh my God, I'm having such a time right now. So John Dory is trying to find a door for his cabin. And then, so favorite moments.
I mean, I liked how even the walkers didn't want him to go. They kept coming. It was a sign from the universe. They were like, "Don't do it, John. Don't do it." But, yeah.
I honestly thought that there were no favorite moments for me in this episode. Maybe June and John reuniting, however briefly, even though it was how it was and weird. Just sorry, I know, Fareed, are you not ready? You're not emotionally ready to talk about this yet? This ruins all of your plans of your topping and bottoming. I'm sorry.
I mean, so I'll my favorite part about this episode was that LOL, whoever writes for these Walking Dead shows still hates kids so much that they all have to be absolutely awful. There is not like I know that the it's like there's like they all like a couple of them here and there have like their redeeming moments. Like Carl, grows up. Alva's daughter, kind of turns a corner. What's her name from this show? Whose name I can't remember.
Alicia?
No, not Alicia. Alicia's not a kid. She's like 18 at the beginning. Like
the
little. Yeah, Charlie, yeah. Like she kind of has like her like turnaround, whatever. But my God, they all start out fucking horrible, and most of them end fucking horrible. And we'll discuss more about that later. So just that is my favorite thing about this show is that they are at least consistent with their hatred of children.
Yeah.
They had a strict. Because we liked her. We were talking about how we liked her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one thing we did.
We talked about how we liked Dakota. Yeah. I was just thinking about that. I was like, we're just saying how this bitch ain't really crazy. Guess what? This bitch is fucking crazy. So there are no happy moments, no favorite moments for me. Least favorite moments.
I mean, I'm just nitpicking here, but the entire truck scene, it made no sense. You know that there's a horde of walkers behind the barrier. Take out the spear and start killing them before you drive the truck through them. It will take a while, but it will get the job done. Like, start killing them with a spear.
And start with what?
Start killing them with a spear. Like, they're stuck behind the barriers.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's like, really? Like, you thought you would kill all of these walkers and like just kind of drive over them? Because that's worked so well so many times before. Learn your lessons, motherfuckers. Throw a timer. Where's the egg timer? My God, that was just a few weeks ago.
Where's Aaron? Aaron with his egg timer.
Where's literally anyone with half a brain to throw, like to make some sort of noise elsewhere? You know what I mean? Like, that river didn't look like it was all that fast flowing or like dangerous. Fucking cross the river and like send someone across the river to make a whole bunch of noise. Light a fire. This was dumb. It was dumb and unnecessary and dumb and I hate it. Don't mind me.
No, you're fine.
Honestly, this whole episode was like, it would have just been another dumb, boring episode, but then I got mad about it because of the ending. Yeah.
So speaking of the ending, I really wish that he had just, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this out loud with my own mouth. I really wish he had just unalived himself on his own terms. So fuck you, Dakota. Like, fuck you. And I just... And the fact that she also claims to be the person that patched up Morgan, fuck you, Morgan. Every single time something happens that's good, you come in and you ruin it. And I hate Morgan. I hate him.
I mean, well, that's the thing though. Like, when I was watching this episode, I mentioned, like, I sent you guys a message that was like, P.S. Morgan is still the capital T, absolute, capital A, worst, capital W. And then like 2 minutes later, I was like, fuck, no, never mind. He's actually not the absolute worst right at this moment.
It just, there's so many like gaps and holes in the plot here. And I'm so tired of Morgan. I'm so tired of Morgan.
You know who's still alive?
Daniel?
Daniel. Daniel's still alive. Daniel would have survived this.
He would have survived it for sure.
I honestly thought that John Dory was going to.
I think something must have happened with his contract, if I'm being completely honest, because like the way that he went out, it was just kind of a, like, they could have literally put any character in that position. They could have put Morgan in that position with her, and Morgan would have survived because he's like a fucking cockroach. And like, see, and that kind of goes on to my other gripes and WTF moments. I'm gonna go ahead and just take my time to spill out this. Yeah, so like, this whole episode was just bad. killing off a main character and a very, very beloved character, might I add. John Dory was my favorite, one of my favorite characters.
One of few in this show, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everybody likes him. Everybody likes, a lot of people like Alicia, and that's basically it.
Yeah, exactly. And so like they take the most lovable character and they kill him right out of the gate in the mid-season premiere. And like, and as he was floating away downstream, I was like, okay, maybe he's not actually dead. Maybe, he'll rally somehow. I don't fucking know what I was thinking. But then like June comes in and sees him and she reaches out to him and he's a walker. And, so that was really hard. I didn't cry. Because I kind of was expecting it because somebody spoiled it for me. Not Tara. Tara did not do that. So I feel like that's not the way to go. Like, there's something definitely happened with his contract, and I don't know what it is because I believe he's English, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though.
I think you might be right, Becca, because this mid-season premiere was supposed to be the mid-season finale.
Okay, that makes sense then. Oh, he's not. Okay, so he's not. He's from California. But yes, like it would have made sense if it was a finale episode.
No, I'm saying that it was the mid-season finale, so they probably shot those scenes with Dory. And maybe he wasn't able to come back for the mid-season premiere, the new episodes, so they had to write him out somehow.
I mean, that's the only way I can think of that would have happened because, like, and it went downhill so fast. Like, I understand that losing the person you love can really take a toll on you, but, like, he went from, like, straight up suicidal to, like, in, like, 2 weeks. And I understand that mental illness and that's how it works. And I understand that, but
a couple of them were like Madison and Kim Dickens. So like I had it in my head that like, okay, cause she shot him, but like it wasn't, it's kind of like up in here. Like it didn't necessarily go to it wasn't necessarily a kill shot. You know what I mean? Like it could be for sure. It was kind of vague, she's a child shooting at an odd angle, blah, blah, blah. But like, so he falls in the water and he finds the picture and I'm like, okay. And like, then they were sending people after him and they're not finding him. And I'm like, okay. So like, that would be kind of cool if Madison's actually still alive and going to come back is like he washes up the river like a little ways farther and like she saves him or whatever. But no. Why did they even have those as like I think they're just trying to fucking mislead people and that pisses me off. That pisses me off to no end. Like on top of like he just dies in the water and like washes up on shore and June has to like stab him in the head.
I mean, honestly, if it had been, I will accept June stabbing him in the head. I will accept their reunion with him as a walker. She is the only person that I would be okay with ending his zombie life or whatever. I mean, honestly, I thought that when Morgan and John Dory were going to fight, because you can't just say John, you have to say John Dory. Mm-hmm. I thought when Morgan and John Dory were going to fight, then Dakota was going to get worried and she was going to shoot him accidentally. And obviously not, because she's a fucking little redheaded psychopath just like her sister. You hear that, redheads? I'm coming for you. Says the girl with reddish hair. Barbara. Oh no, Barbara! But I was okay with June being the one to like put him out of his misery or whatever. But like that did hurt. This episode was just really a disaster. And even a disaster in that they had the walker getting caught under the wheel.
I mean, and also like Morgan also showing his asininity, like calling up Virginia and like giving away like everything about John Dory so that he couldn't go back to his like cabin in the first place. Like, what a dick! Like that was like my like takeaway from this episode was going to be like, wow, Morgan, what a dick! Like you were. That's when I said he was the absolute worst. Like even worse than I thought you were, and I already thought you were bad. But then like John Dory died, and it just took. I mean, I want to say like then Dakota turned out to be a brat, but it's like I don't know why I'm even shocked anymore, because again, if there's one thing this show does, it's hate children, or these shows. I don't know. Like at least they're consistent with that, I guess.
And the way they ended up being meta with his death, because Dakota, after shooting him, she was like, it doesn't have to matter. Like, death doesn't always have to go the way you want it to go. And I was like, okay, writers.
Go look at the flowers, Dakota.
Seriously, I would love a Dakota versus Carol arc. Like, I would love to see
Carol and her rat. Carol and her rat. Carol and her rat. Carol needs to make that rat her pet.
Oh yeah. She's gonna walk out on a leash, and then she's gonna get that.
Or like have it riding on her shoulder.
Yeah,
she feeds a little piece of the cracker.
The crazy rat lady. So
living in her wig.
Yeah, I just. So do we have any theories for how this is gonna go? Fareed, you already talked about it's supposed to be the mid-season finale.
According to the writers, after this episode aired, they had this interview with one of the writers, and he said that they ended up killing John Dory because they wanted to give more of an arc to June. So June killing Dory is going to bring a lot of change in her character and all of that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not interested in June. I'm not.
Also, so they fridged him. They fridged
John Dory.
Is it like, I know that that's technically like, usually that term is only really applies to like female characters and stuff, but I don't think it should, because like any character that is killed off for the benefit of another character, any character that's killed off, especially if it's badly for the benefit of another character storyline, is stuffing them in.
Yeah, character.
Also, I mean, if John Dory wasn't entirely straight, there's that too. But that's speculation at best.
I really don't. Sorry, I just saw some news that completely took my breath away. That has nothing to do with The Walking Dead.
Virginia? Who's the better sister, Virginia or Dakota? Who's the crazier one?
I mean, Dakota killed John Dory, so I hate her more overall. But like, Virginia's also done a lot.
Jenny's craziness is organized.
Yeah.
But Dakota's craziness is not really organized.
Because she's a child, and that's how, yeah.
She's like Lizzie. Lizzie makes both of these girls look like pussycats. I will say it now. Lizzie of Mika and Lizzie.
Yeah, but Lizzie was just very young and she was like actually confused. Like that's like what was forgivable about Lizzie's character, is that she was legitimately confused because all of the stuff that happened to her happened when she was so young. Like Dakota is not confused. She knows, she speaks to it. She knows exactly what she's doing. She tries to like convince Morgan that it's all okay, like
They killed John Dory.
Well, I'm really glad that the rest of the Fear the Walking Dead episodes, we're just covering them in like one lump sum when they're done toward the kind of like, it's not really the end of May, it's like a little bit past mid-May, because like, yeah, but at the same time, yeah, we had to talk about this one and not wait until like May 22nd or whatever to talk about.
Yeah, because this is our last stream for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, for over a month. For sure. It's unclear whether I believe the last Fear the Walking Dead episode for this season is airing on May 21st. Sunday, May 21st. So like, but the last couple episodes are kind of like TBD and a lot of things. So it's like, it feels kind of weird that there's only 6 episodes in this like half season, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume that that's correct. But like, I mean, honestly, if we had tried to do a lump with the John Dory death in May, we would have spent an hour talking about John Dory dying. And like, then the webcast would have been 8 years long because we had 5 other episodes to get through.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm just really, I'm so tired, you guys. I'm so tired of The Walking Dead and its universes. So tired of them. And like, there used to be times where I would actually actively be excited to come on and like yell about it with y'all, but I'm just like, I'm dreading. And I love y'all very much, but
I think, yeah, I think a big part of that is it does not help that like we've had a couple episodes like in this half season of The Walking Dead that weren't like the absolute like worst, that we actually had things to discuss or whatever. But this like, it's like those 2 Walking Dead episodes, especially the Carol and Daryl one, which was just like followed by having to deal with like John Dory's death in Fear the Walking Dead. It's like,
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see it coming. I'm very upset, but I know it has probably something to do with his something to do with his contract, or maybe he just chose not to continue to come back because he watched it sink. So
I mean, I don't know though, that at the same time, like if they really are trying to use his death as like a way to like give June more, something more to do or whatever, like some character growth or whatever the fuck they want to call it. Like, I mean, there's that. And I also think that from time to time, these shows still want to try to shock us.
Well, they definitely did that.
Yeah.
Regrettably. I'm saying that regrettably.
And unfortunately, that often ends with a character that is they either shouldn't die for other reasons or is very likable, being offed because it's like, let's kill John Dory. Well, now everybody's going to want to know what happens in the wake of John Dory's death. And it's like, do I though? I
really don't. Like, I really don't care about. The only character I still kind of care about is Alicia.
I want her to find that dude again.
Honest. The one that drew on her arm?
The painting guy, yeah.
Oh, the painting guy.
Yeah, the guy that paints on the trees and stuff.
That's right, because her boyfriend died. The one that drew, because he was drawing her in the first episode, he was drawing on her arm with Sharpies.
Oh, you're talking about the very first episode of Fear the Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Ever? Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, he's long gone. I'm talking about the black guy that had his brother's like novel or something, and he was going around painting on the trees. Yeah, I'm speaking of him because we don't know what happened to him. Like, but I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
Oh, my back. No, I think he's still alive because what was his name? Wes, or was the brother's name Wes?
I believe his name was Wes. Okay. It's been a while.
All right. So, does anybody happen to have any recommendations for anything?
Weirdly enough, I've been watching yesterday. Actually, I started watching Invincible on Amazon Prime. It's also a Robert Kirkman comic originally. Weirdly enough, got a lot of Walking Dead people in it. Steven Yeun is the voice of the main character, and Kari Payton is in it. Lenny James is in it. Sonequa Martin Green is in it. Oh my gosh. Fred Johnson from fucking Expanse. Tyrese. The fuck is that actor's name? He's in it.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
There's like and that's not even it. I think there's like a few more too that are in Invincible. It's like a gory cartoon.
I see. I looked it up just now and I'm looking at it.
It's very much like it's so what Archer is to like James Bond, that's what this show I think is trying to be to like superhero comic, like superhero like cartoons.
J.K. Simmons is in it. Mark Hamill's in it. Oh, Zazie Beetz is in it. Sandra Oh is in it. Seth Rogen. Bleh, I don't like him. Jason Mantzoukas, the guy who plays Adrian Pimento.
Yeah, and in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah. So there's Britta from Community.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
This looks like John Hamm. Damn, they really do got them all.
And a lot of them are like a lot of them might be one-off voices, especially the Walking Dead actors, just based on what I've seen from the first 3 episodes, but it's still like, it's like an all-star cast. And like, it's, like I said, it's very much like what Archer is to James Bond. This is to like the old, like Justice League cartoons and stuff. It's very it's dark. It's dark and gritty and raunchy. Like, I mean, not raunchy in that it's very like as gory as a cartoon can be. It is gory, but the animation style is a little bit weird, but it's funny. So I'll give it that. So I started watching that yesterday, and it's good so far. I mean, this is the second. Steven Yeun he also voiced a character in Troll Hunters, which I also love. So like, I'm glad that he is, because you can't, most of the time in Troll Hunters and in this, you have no idea that it's Steven Yeun as the voice. So he's clearly a very good voice actor, but
he also has, he also was in, was it Minari?
Yeah, the Oscar nominated movie.
Yeah. And he also has something else coming up. He's been cast in a Jordan Peele movie, I believe. Yeah, I think that he's actually going to be in a horror movie that just Jordan Peele's directing, which I'm very excited about. No, I just saw that kind of offhand. I didn't actually go and look at the article, but it looks, I mean, I would love to see him in a horror role, because he was in, was it Maniac? No, it wasn't the Belko Experiment. It was something else that was similar to the Belko Experiment. It was where people beat each other up and kill each other in an office. Mania?
I don't know.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's nice to see him.
Yeah. So, and there's also like, it does kind of harken back to this webcast, just because there's a ton of Walking Dead actors in Invincible, even if a lot of them are just like one-off, I think 1 episode characters or whatever, but still.
I'm planning on watching the, it's on Netflix right now.
I don't know what you're saying. Shadow and Bone comes out later this month. I'm definitely watching that.
It's a TV show, and it's about let me see if I can find it. It's a TV show, and it's about Sherlock Holmes, the Irregulars.
Oh,
don't watch
yeah.
Don't.
Why?
I reviewed it. It's just, I have an entire review up on the Geekery. It's just full of tropey writing and sad, weird storytelling. It's just bad.
Have you seen Warrior Nun?
I did.
What, compared to Warrior Nun, how goofy is it?
I mean, Warrior Nun is better.
Or the October Faction?
October Faction got cancelled. That's better too.
October Faction got canceled. I mean, kind of figured.
I thought that Fate Wink Saga show got canceled. Like, I definitely read something that it did, but then I saw something else that said it wasn't, that it was renewed.
Oh, people hate watched it. It went, I think it stayed as #1 for 2 weeks.
I never finished it. I couldn't.
The October Faction?
Fate Wink Saga.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. I'd rather watch the Alyssa Lamb documentary over and over again. I don't know. I'm on a nailed it spree right now.
Oh, well, nailed it is always good.
It's cute. It's a cute. And I'd love to watch Hannibal, but Legally Blonde's on here. Anyway, so activities and cons. I know that Tara and I have a thing coming up.
Yeah, Virtual Ice and FireCon. It's
Virtual Ice and FireCon.
What is it? April 22nd through the 25th. So most everything we're doing is going to be on Saturday. But we've got like one like an intro thing on Thursday night, and then like three panel things happening on Friday, and then Saturday there's like 5 or 6 of them, I think, and then a couple on Sunday as well. So yeah, I mean, last year we went kind of crazy with it, and there was like a lot of late night Zoom chats and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take like time off to be able to host like a bunch of super late night Zoom chats, but we'll see.
Well, I'm always up, so maybe I'll be the one doing it.
Yeah.
All right, so we have talked to our heart's content. We actually got a nice little, it's about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, for 3 episodes, that says a lot, and it's not very good.
I mean, hey, look, we could have been at this for a really long time. So I'm Becca, along with Freed and Tara. Thank you for joining us while we bitch about stuff and things with the Bitching Dead. We will be back in May. Please follow the Bitching Dead and the Geeky Area on Twitter. We also do have a Facebook page, both for the Geeky Area and for the Bitching Dead. And the Geeky Area also has an Instagram, and it's at the Geeky Area on Instagram, Twitter, on Facebook. And remember, we are a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you. Thank you for contributing and helping our host site, the Geeky Area. And y'all stay safe. Don't let any crazy redheaded children shoot you in the chest.